to me. To me. Well, hello everybody. Wow, this is amazing. Welcome to Mosaic Film Experience 2021. I'm Skot Welch, the founder of Mosaic Film Experience. Well, first of all, and I want to qualify the founder, right? Because behind my voice and me being here is a host of amazing and wonderful people that make this happen every single year, with whom I could not do any of this. So you can clap for them too, because they just kind of say, hey, Skot, say this and stand here. So they do all the work. And so we're delighted to have you here. We are broadcasting live from Celebration Cinema North in Grand Rapids, Michigan. To all the folks that may not be in Michigan, listen, we hope to be in person, right? But we figured a way to still reach our community in the safest way possible, because that is priority number one for us. So 10 years, right? 10 years is amazing. And so we hope that you saw the video, kind of the opening video, and just the fact that we are here together, and we've got some amazing things for you. And just so you know, we do this for you, right? And so we want you to take notes, to take notes of the people that you see, because perhaps you want to connect with them afterwards in some way, shape, or form. We have 4 C's in our initiative at the Mosaic Film Experience: creativity, collaboration, critical thinking for career preparedness. So we want to make sure that you are ready to do what you do in the field. Whether you work in film or not is not really the big deal. But we want you to just know that in what you do, you always have to solve problems, you always have to be creative, and you have to think critically, all those things. So here's the thing. So let's transition a little bit. So the person in charge of our sonic landscape is what I call it. Just a dear friend, and has been with us for many, many years. That's Adrian Butler. We call him DJ AB. He's going to be making the transition smooth and keep us rocking and flowing strong. And so just want to say hello to DJ AB. It's great to see you, man. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it, buddy. No, this is great. So here's what's to come. So this year we're celebrating our 10th year Mosaic Film Experience. And we're taking a look at storytellers around the country who are all focused on changing digital entertainment from the ground up. So organizations that celebrate stories of people who persevere in spite of struggle and create inclusive opportunities for women and underrepresented people in front of and behind the camera. All right, so we also have you, please use our social media in terms of all the different hashtags and everything. They'll be on your screen to just kind of give us a shout out. You see them on the screen there, and spread the word. And just also know that, you know, we started this and we continue to exist in Michigan, but this is something that belongs to everybody. And so even sending it to your people, even people outside of here, you are, you know, totally fine with spreading that. Okay. And so we want to just make sure we also say thank you for all the amazing sponsors who continue to step up and to make this possible every single year. And so the list here, let me see, from Warner Norcross and Judd, Zingerman's, 9B Collective, Gentex, Fifth Third Bank, Michigan Council for the Arts and Cultural Affairs, the Wege Foundation, the Kellogg Foundation, Interlochen Center for the Arts, and many others. And we'd also like to introduce this year's naming sponsor, powered by sponsor, none other than our friends at Wolverine Worldwide. And we just want to say thank you so much to all of you and to Wolverine for making this event possible. And we're going to also get to one of our, what I call our Mosaic family from the inception. We'll talk about that a little bit later, about our friends at Celebration Cinema too. So for those of you that have been in the actual theaters, you remember we would always have our friend Miranda from TV8. And guess what? She's here again with us. And so I just want to say to my dear friend Miranda, come on up. Just talk to us. We are so delighted to have you here. And just thank you for everything, Miranda.
It is so good to be here. And I'm here to say happy anniversary. 10 years of doing creative work is brilliant.
Wow.
And I just want to say thank you.
Thank you,
for
Miranda.
Inspiring future filmmakers and future world changers.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I want to ask you a few questions. Okay.
Oh, you're going to interview me?
Yeah, well, kind of, you know, right?
Okay.
So just talk about, I mean, the importance of how you view Miranda, Mosaic Film Experience around history, community, and the event growth that you've seen because you've been with us for some years now.
Absolutely. So I just want to first of all say welcome to all of our students who are here today. I'm carrying my phone because I don't leave home without it. I don't go anywhere without it, and I know you're the same. And you know why? This is how we are capturing moments, how we are documenting time. And this is your most powerful tool when it comes to creating content. I've been at this a long time, as Scott has said, I mean, over 35 years in marketing, broadcasting, and media. And it doesn't matter if you're doing TV, if you're doing digital platforms, whatever you're doing, one thing has remained true over the years. You have to have good content. And you have to have storytellers. So I want to inspire you today, whether you're making brilliant TikToks or you're creating mini documentaries or you're just sharing stories with people, go for authenticity. Be authentic. Be your true self. Tell the stories that need to be heard because this is your power. This is your voice. Use it wisely and use it well. Scott, Mosaic has been inspiring young people. It's been so impressive for me over the years to watch you bring in people from all walks of life who have found their passion and who are saying, I'm doing this because I love it. And if I get paid along the way, that's cool too. I really hope that today, as you're watching, my life quote, man, pursuit without passion is trivial.
Come on.
Get something find something that you can get behind. Be passionate about it and no one can stop you. I look at you with this film festival. You have faced hurdles. You have faced obstacles. Me in my career, I've faced a lot of things. But you know what? I'm all about it. I'm all in.
That's right. So keep going.
It doesn't matter where things go because I know why I'm here and what I'm doing.
That's right. That's
Purpose and passion will do it every time.
That's powerful, Miranda. Thank you so much. So I mean, again, remember being in the Wealthy Theater,
I
right?
do.
And
I
kind
loved
of stepping in that first time, and you said, I mean, when some of your initial thoughts when you first saw it, I mean, all these kids and stuff, and I said, we'll get back to that, right? We'll get back. But what were your thoughts when you first kind of saw it? Just kind of what was your first thoughts when you saw what was going on?
My first thoughts were, wow, I can get out of the way soon because I saw nothing but positive energy and people who wanted to go for it. And when I look at if you are 16 years old and you are committed to being a storyteller, that's where you're going to go. And I saw that in that theater and I see it today as I look at the screen and I think there are students out there from Michigan, from New Mexico, from Houston, wherever you are at. If you are sitting here today and you're saying like, I can get excited about this, then that is your magic. That is your thing. And that's what I saw in that theater 10 years ago.
That's really cool.
And I see it today where people are saying, I found this online. I want to participate.
Right.
It's beautiful.
Thank you, Miranda. So together we got to give shouts out to these folks here. So we got Innovation Central High School.
Woo woo! We've got City Middle School. We've got Career Line Tech Center, Grand Rapids Montessori High School, Kanawha Hills, the Knights out there. We've got Kentwood Public Schools, Go Falcons. We've got Byron Center High School, Compass College, GVSU, MSU, Godfrey Lee, and Hope College. I'm a Hope alum.
Hey!
All right. Gosh, I feel like I'm doing a telethon with you, but it's fun to just shout them out, man. Shout them out.
Well, again, I can't thank you enough, Miranda. You just mean so much to us. Thank you for your support and how you always, your heart for the young people is so transparent and so obvious. So thank you so much for being here.
Keep up the good work, my friend.
You.
Keep up the good work.
We appreciate you.
All the best to you. I can't wait to see what you're creating. Keep it up. Thank you,
Miranda. All right. Well, as I said earlier, we have another member of the Mosaic Film Experience family, and that is contained in this amazing person as Emily Lokes. And just been such a dear friend of ours. Come on up. Come on up, Emily. And thank you for being here.
Glad to.
Yeah, for sure. So Emily from Celebration Cinema, and just kind of talk about the fact, so you remember Emily, so 10 years ago, I know, so Celebration South, that's right, I was like, who is going to take this crazy idea and maybe like, does this make sense, right? And you're like, yeah, we should kind of get involved in this, so thank you. And Celebration Cinema South, remember, we were there. And 3 days, it was a 3-day event. I was like, I'd never even been to a film festival. So, and from day one, Celebration Cinema and the family have just really, really supported us. And
it's been a miracle of goodness. And
here we go.
Oh, here we go, a microphone. I was going to say, it's been a miracle of goodness. And it has grown and it's kind of developed some momentum and capacities in the last decade that have been really fun to watch.
Well, thank you. So tell me, Emily, so talk about a little bit about the history of Mosaic Film Experience and Celebration Cinema. Why did you get involved in the first place? Why did you think it was something that you should wrap around, you know, your brand and family around?
You know, as you were giving a welcome just a few moments ago, you referenced elevating stories from individuals who have faced struggle and persevered and like through obstacles. And so I think, you know, if you look at my central passion of why I'm even interested in being involved in this industry, it's because I think we learn through story. We learn through story more than we learn through data, more than we learn through all other kinds of information. We develop empathy and we change because of story. And we make better decisions when a wider diversity of voices is recognized, is heard, and is heard clearly. So I love that about what you're doing. I love that about being able to be a participant. I think our industry has faced a lot of challenges in the last years, a couple years in particular, but we still believe in the power of story and the importance of gathering around story. So that's happened in a number of ways throughout history, whether it be like gathering around a fire and telling stories, but movies is the medium of our day, and I think it's really important.
Well, thank you for all you do, and for Celebration Cinema just being such a constant influence and force in our community, and so just really appreciate that. Also, so I mean, first of all, folks need to know too, Emily, the theaters are open. People are watching movies. What are some of the different protocols, I know, for safety measures that you put in place to make it safe for folks to still enjoy films?
Yeah, we are responsive to what's happening in the community, and we pay attention to the health department and the so our staff is currently all wearing masks to kind of protect continued operations and our guests. And people make different decisions based on their own household risk levels. I tend to come during weekdays. I love to come on weekdays because the theaters are crowded on Friday nights. I went with my kids to see Dune last night on Monday night, or I guess it was 2 nights ago, because they had school off on Tuesday, and I was like, oh, I can get a whole theater to myself. So just pay attention a little bit more. With reserved seating online, you can actually see how full an auditorium is, and you can space yourself out and put yourself in a comfortable spot. And we have great HVAC and air circulation and a number of other things that have made theaters fairly safe over the last year, but we're incrementally seeing more and more content come to the screen, and with vaccines being widespread, we're thinking it's going to be just a better year ahead.
That's really good. Again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you, and just tell the staff we said hello, that we couldn't do this without Celebration Cinema.
Well, it's our honor and our privilege to host.
Yeah.
Glad you're here.
All right, cool. So again, thank you so much. So let's talk about, you can kind of keep going there. Let's talk a little bit about our what's coming up. So in our 10th year, we're going back to our roots and looking at the state of the film industry and how it's changing, right? So the challenges that all creative industries facing today with representation, and really we just kind of getting those stories out that are untold, right? And so getting those to the forefront. So there's an amazing group of talented storytellers that have donated their time to us today. So first of all, we got Detroit filmmaker Robert Butler introducing his new project, filmed in Michigan and Los Angeles. By the way, it's been nominated for 13 different separate awards, and so he's actually making the rounds to film festivals all around the world, in fact, including the Cannes Film Festival. So also the amazing Turner Brothers, who are back with us to inspire you with their new work of Dreadhead Films. Great, two brothers doing great work. There's also Branch Out Productions. So this amazing team just finished producing a feature film in Grand Rapids, and they are committed to offering opportunities to local creative talent. I remember driving through the neighborhoods and seeing production trucks and stuff at parks and all kinds of great things. And so you're going to meet also some members of that team as well. We also have Rolando Gonzalez, I want to say it right, a partner in Move, who was with us last year, who we introduced to you last year, who has started a new company focusing on media projects that integrate interactivity. Also, and he's going to come all the way, reach us all the way from Mexico City, by the way. Then there's 9B Collective. This is the first Black-owned concept art studio in Los Angeles. It's founded by Philip Boutte Jr., who's been a dear friend of ours for many years. Also, Michael Wandi and Aldous Hodge, who you see on many, many films, and will continue to see on many films. So those three guys got together and formed this amazing collective. And so they're going to introduce us to their new company. And then, of course, we have Mariah Barrera. My goodness. This young lady, so she's a previous Mosaic winner and student now at Columbia Film School at Columbia University. And she's going to introduce us also to one of her mentors, Mimi Chakarova. And Mimi is the founder of Still I Rise. Films Fellowship program offers financial support and mentorship to women artists who've shown great promise in the field of visual storytelling and documentary filmmaking. So this year, Mariah Barrera, the two-time Mosaic Mobile Short Film Contest winner, she's the youngest fellowship recipient in its history. I mean, wow. So we're so proud of her. We're gonna go more into that. So now I want to actually introduce you to, we call it Mosaic Mobile Block A. So this year, we had films submitted from all over Michigan for our annual Mosaic Mobile Film Competition. And each year we ask students to submit a film 2 to 3 minutes in length that include 3 elements: a theme, a prop, and a saying. So this year's theme was the next chapter. Students needed to include a box as a prop, and the saying was, show me. So to qualify, they had to have all those elements in their film. But how they use these elements, completely up to their interpretation. So here are a few of our top 10 finalists. Go for it. Okay. Heck yeah.
Come on a journey with me.
That's right. That's what I mean.
Adventuring with our new app, Show Me. Show Me takes you to a location where anything is possible. Some leave with rewards, others leave with only the friendships they made along the way.
Dude, are you sure we're going to the right place? We've been riding for hours.
Yeah, I know, just shut up. I know we're in the right spot, I swear. It's around here somewhere.
You better be right about this.
But be careful. Sometimes you won't find what's expected.
Alright, according to the app, it's just a little further down that way.
That way? Are you crazy?
I know we have to do this. We've come this far.
Fine.
Alright, let's go. Come on! It's gotta be here somewhere. Someone's coming. Let's go.
What's that?
Who is that? What just happened?
I don't know, but it probably has to do with whatever you put in that box.
Alright, you ready?
I guess.
Show me. It's the same name as the app. Chapter 7. Killed? Shovel? He wrote down what just happened. He described the murder.
And it's weird. There's murders dating back for months, years even. I mean, I even heard a few of them on the news.
Chapter 8. Your turn.
To accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream. Not only plan, but also believe. Anatole France. As a senior in high school, there is so much unknown ahead of me, yet so much I want to accomplish. I am left with the questions of, how do I do it? Where do I begin? Where do I go next in this new chapter? My entire life has been planned out for me. Before I was in school, I'd follow my mom around everywhere, either to visit my brother at school, hanging out at home, or a fun social activity she planned. Once school started, I began a set weekday routine that I have kept for the past 13 years of my life. Every day, I'd wake up, go to school, come home, repeat. Now, I have the chance to steer myself away from that. The next path I take is completely up to me, and yet I'm feeling stuck. Rewind to 2012. At just 8 years old, I fell in love with film and videography. This soon became my passion and the career I want to work towards. For the last 9 years of my life, I have created videos either for myself or the internet through YouTube. I have looked at life through the eyes of a lens. What lighting looks the best? Which angle captures my vision perfectly? And now I am supposed to take this passion and do something with it. You can't go to the universe and say, show me what I'm supposed to do. Show me how to get where I need to be. It's not that simple, no matter how much you know what your end goal is. Saying I know what I want to do with my life may seem stress-free or easy. You might even say I'm lucky, but trust me, it isn't like that at all. The hard thing is having expectations. Will it be everything I hoped? Is it actually my dream? What do I do to get where I want to be? Caring so much about one thing, you do not want to be disappointed. Videography and school are the two things I spend my time on. When I'm not doing homework, I'm filming. When I'm not editing, I'm reading. When I'm not doing any of that, I'm volunteering for the National Honor Society or with my family. I've tried theater and it wasn't for me, and I'm no athlete. My only hobby is also my passion and the sole plan I have for my career and the rest of my life. So, no, knowing what you want to do with your life is not easy, nor is planning the steps to get there. As someone who likes to be aware of their future, this is scary, but I have learned that not knowing is okay. I have months to figure out my life. While having an idea about your future is important, so is living in the moment. If there is anything I have learned over the years that has stuck with me, it's that life is short. I'm in my last year of high school. Life is about to be so different. While that difference is a mystery, I have the dream, I have prepared, and I believe whatever path I end up on will be the right one. I know a great college is in my future. All there's left to do is act.
Oh, 1 minute? Okay. That's amazing. Oh. Well, so I hope you enjoyed that block. As you see, some amazing students doing great work, and we're just really, really proud of them. Again, we exist to put our students in the center, right? Because we believe in the genius that you have. And so, well, earlier I mentioned our Powered By sponsor, our naming sponsor, and it's from our friends at Wolverine Worldwide. And we actually have one of the movers and shakers there that makes things happen at Wolverine, and Tom Kennedy. And Tom, I just want to say, first of all, thank you
you,
for
Scott.
being here, and thank you for trusting to this collaboration to be a part of Mosaic Film Experience and have Wolverine Worldwide be a part of that. It really means a lot to us.
Yeah, thank you. We're really, really appreciative of the opportunity to participate.
So tell me what kind of what you do at Wolverine Worldwide, because we're kind of introducing these students to careers.
I mean, I think the great thing for people to understand, there's two parts of Wolverine. There's Wolverine Worldwide, which is a corporation. We own around a dozen brands, recently 13 now, I think, with the acquisition of Sweaty Betty. I manage 4 of our brands, the boot brands. Wolverine, which the company is named for from 1883, Bates, High Tested, Harley Davidson. So I have the privilege of managing 4 of the core boot brands. And I think for us, opportunities like this are amazing because at the root of everything we do is creativity, right? Yeah. And I think that creative people are given an opportunity to have their voice heard at a very early age, which is why programs like this are so important. I think that you come to your voice by having an opportunity early on being heard, right?
That's really, really cool. So talk about, I mean, the need for storytelling in your work.
So I think there's storytelling in a variety of ways. You know, creating a great product is only one thing, right? But there has to be a story or a compelling reason for the consumer to want it. There has to be a story around why the brand exists. And the brand, years ago, you could market and tell a customer what to do. That's changed with the internet. People can do all the homework on your brand they want. And so you have to walk the walk to really be able to tell a compelling story about your brand. So it's about the community you create for your brand, the community you create for your product. And I think storytelling not only becomes important on the creative side, whether you're creating product or marketing assets or digital assets, but also on the business side. Like when I'm asking for funding, I have to be able to create a compelling vision of what I'm going to do with that money, right?
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, everybody's got a boss and I'm asking mine for money, right? And so I think you have to do that. And I think for us, the engagement of Mosaic is all of the brands work in tandem, and you know, Scott, because you're involved with us, right? So we have the corporate mission, but each of the brands, you know, Merrill has their outreach to diversify the outdoors, Saucony has their outreach to diversify running, and at Wolverine, we started a program about 4 years ago called Project Bootstraps, and we wanted to give people for our community, which is trade work, the opportunity to have scholarships and funding at the age of 17. I'm really proud of the fact I didn't create the program. Andy Shripka, who's my CMO, created the program before I got there, but we've been able to help really create scholarships for students. And I think you're aware of, we're doing another one with Uncommon Projects in January to do that. So I think that for us, you know, storytelling starts at a very early age, right? It really does.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tom. I mean, thank you for helping to have you as someone that does that every day. I want our students to connect it, to know that it's not fluff. This is a real muscle that they have to exercise.
It is, and it happens at every company I've worked at. I mean, you know my background a little bit more. I've worked at almost every major company in America over 4 decades. And I think that, you know, the ability to storytell is more important than just a story. It's the ability to articulate your thoughts in a clear, communicative manner. And I think more importantly, as I said earlier, like knowing that your voice is heard is the most important thing. And I think the affirmation that programs like this do with youth, where someone steps up and says, your story and your voice are so important and we're gonna fund your idea, really gives you that early confidence to propel through life. And I think that's an extraordinary opportunity.
That's huge. Well, again, thank you so much to you, Tom, for making time.
Thank you so much.
And
really
for making
happy to
time,
be here.
and thanks to Wolverine Worldwide.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Thanks so much. You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Wow. Again, thank you. Pretty cool. So here's the thing. Thank you again to Wolverine Worldwide, our naming sponsor, our Powered By sponsor. And so now we're going to check out something else here from a friend of Mosaic Film Experience. Check it out.
Hello, Mosaic Film Festival. Happy 10-year anniversary. Congratulations on reaching such a major milestone. I am both proud and humbled to have been a part of this incredible platform of empowering our underserved youth for future amazing careers in media and entertainment. To the founders, Skot and Dirk, thank you so much for your vision and for your service to all. And to the students, thank you for your bold storytelling and for sharing your talents and gifts with the world. So have an incredible week of celebration, fun, and learning. Again, happy 10-year anniversary. Bye-bye.
To me.
So go back a little bit. So the Carla Moore, just so you know, it says Mosaic guest. Actually, Carla Moore was the Senior Vice President of Talent and Acquisition for HBO. That's just a little small brand we all aware of. But anyway, she has been involved in Friends of Ours for at least 3 years. And so now has started her own venture. But that's Carla Moore. So I want to add a little context to who said hello and who greeted us. So here's the deal. So the Mosaic mobile film competition is about challenging the conventions of storytelling and encouraging students to tell their unique stories in innovative ways. It was created to level the content creation playing field and give a platform to our young people. Here's some of our here's some more actually of our finalists for 2021. How much time do you have, Brooks?
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Actually, I have a question. Do you have any idea where the physics room is?
Oh, yeah, totally. It's like just this way.
Hey, yeah, can we talk?
I'm sorry, this is just so weird for me to say.
It's okay, we have time.
I know, well, we're friends. You're probably my best friend in the whole world.
You're rambling.
I know. I want this to go well. And I know that it will go well. I know it'll go great or whatever, but I can't help but be nervous. And all of the time I think,
It's okay.
I like girls.
That's it.
Yeah?
Cool. So, girls, who do you like?
Well, there's this girl.
She's amazing. Her eyes sparkle in the sun, and her hair is probably my favorite thing. But most importantly, she's helped me figure out myself. She's been able to show me that I am who I am, regardless of what anyone else says. Because at first I was scared and I thought that everything would go wrong, but what a wonderful thing for me to be wrong about. I categorize each chapter in my life as a box. The current chapter in my life is focused on giving. For a while, I felt stuck within the walls of my house, my school, my life, as if I was literally in a box. However, while wandering around looking for a greater sense of purpose, I found New City Kids. Little did I know, these kids, people, and experiences would shape a new path in my life. Influencing little lives was something completely new to me.
Bam! I found a new sense of purpose. I was caving the foundations of a new box, a new chapter in my life.
Then one by one, each kid said, show me how I can have confidence in having a dance battle, or even learning an instrument. Being able to impact these kids in this way, to be able to show them so many things, I was able to create a classroom with good culture where we could do it all. My goal throughout this time being with these little lives was to allow them to acknowledge when you ask someone to show me something, they'll be able to actually show you. Little did I know these kids, people, and experiences would shape a new path in my life. Influencing little lives was something completely new to me and them. Bam! I found a new sense of purpose. I was caving the foundation of a new box, new chapter, new pathway for these little lives to go through that hallway.
Well, welcome back and thank you. I hope you enjoy that block of great films from amazing students. I want to take this time to introduce you to another amazing and very special friend, Mr. Victor Holt of Fifth Third Bank. We want to give a shout out to Fifth Third and say thank you for always supporting us as well. But Victor, so thank you for being here first of all.
Glad for having me. Oh my goodness.
Year two?
Yes.
We love it.
Year two.
So tell us, tell us your interest in terms of Mosaic film experience and why Fifth Third Bank and why you saw it as something that should be supported.
Well, with the creativity that it takes to build a film and tell a story, you know, it's very emotional. You know, you can be logical, but it's very emotional.
Yeah.
And to me, finance is emotional. So if you understand how to be able to put that and to where everyone else can understand it, and say, see your vision, it's just unreal. So being able to tell your story financially, or a financial story, is much more than bullet points. Mosaic has such creative minds that are creating these stories that you could never imagine, you know, something just on your own. These are abstract thinkers, and it's a beautiful thing to see them create it.
So, no, that's great. So we're always trying to connect the dots between storytelling and the industry, right, our sponsors.
Right.
And, so would you make for the students a connection, like, so storytelling and the financial industry, like, how do those go together? How would a student find themselves in the financial industry telling a story?
Well, there's multiple ways. Ideally, you can go from the simple standpoint of like an ad. You know, when you're watching out on TV of a bank, they generally try to give you an idea of what a day looks like with finance. You know, when you wake up, how you spending your money. When you know, whether it's a cup of coffee, whether it's the cab ride to work, whatever it may be. These things play a big role. So just telling your story in general, and then mentally noting, hey, you need money to do this. You need money to take this here. It helps so much. So the creative spot is just seeing where in your day are you actually spending your money, and the more conscious you are of that, the better you are with it.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So, and then I know one of your passions is financial literacy.
Yes.
Particularly with young people.
Absolutely.
Where did that come from, Victor? And just tell us a little bit about that.
Just brief upbringing. You know, my family had the ability to be able to make some funds, and just you learn along the way, right? It's just through experience. And my father was a military veteran. Wow. So for him, it was, hey, you don't have to take these own experiences. You can learn from others. Yeah. And along the way, we just kind of picked up, you can do this with the money. You can do that with the money. So where last year you might be buying Nike shoes, next year you might be buying Nike stock. You don't have to know a whole lot about it, just understand the value. Wow. So if you can teach that to individuals as they're younger, you know, the older we grow, we use the same money, but we put it in better spaces, and we end up being just a little bit better off.
Wow, and because I know that at some point in time, hopefully coming up, we're going to be offering a component from Fifth Third around financial literacy, right?
Correct. So that's our goal. Our goal is to be able to try to encourage more stories, more videos, and just partnering with these young individuals and saying, hey, this your video, this is what we do in finance. Like, show us what that looks like. What does your day look like? How do you try finance into that? And we want to be able to offer some type of prize out back to it. You know, we haven't worked out the kinks yet, but it'd be a beautiful thing to be able to reward individuals that can show us how money impacts their day.
That's cool, man. Victor, again, man, thank you so much for always being a part of what we do here, and really appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk more, because we're going to get that financial literacy for our students.
Let's make it happen.
Appreciate you, man.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So I'm going to be talking now to, actually, it was a connection through Fifth Third, through Marcus Jackson, who oversees a facet of Fifth Third's in community investment, if you will. So we have actually Robert Butler, and we want to say hello. Robert is actually the owner of Easy Breezy Productions, and they believe in the need for original quality entertainment. Their latest project, by the way, The Color of Life, was filmed here right in Michigan, and it's an example of creative opportunities that are expanding in the state. Let's take a look.
My boy, humans tell stories. It's our native language. And story is a powerful thing. It informs us, makes us feel, and it can teach us. Sean, you're in the very beginning of your story. You're now beginning to learn about the triumphs and failures of life, conflict, love, friendship, joy, pain, fear, victory, defeat, change. only you get to determine how your story is played out.
Back, and I just wanted to have you, Robert Butler. I think we're on camera with him now. Where's Robert? There he is. How you doing, Robert?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good, man. Thank you for making time for us, and thank you for being here. So, I just want to ask you a question. So, tell me the story behind Life Ain't Like the Movies.
Well, the story behind Life Ain't Like the Movies is, well, there is a director named John Hughes, and he always says, write what you know. So this came more from my own personal experiences going through, high school and things like that. There's a character in the film called Pops, played by the incredible Paul Bates. He's basically based off of my grandfather, and a lot of things that Pop says to his grandson in the film is what he says to me. And maybe just it's kind of like semi-autobiographical, just a little bit more dramatized. So based on life experiences going through high school.
That's pretty powerful, man. So how did you get into film, right? And when did you realize it was like a real job?
So I would say I first got into film when I was about 4 years old. It was the very first time I saw the movie Star Wars. I was enraptured by it. I was sitting down at my aunt and uncle's house, and they had these tapes of Star Wars.
Wow.
I put it in, and I've been hooked ever since. I told my parents, like, I want to do that. I don't know exactly what that is, but I want to do that. But film really became a job for me at the age of 14, I would say, because there was a public access channel station in our city that it was hiring people, and hiring people of our age group, like high school students, to help film local events, like film like sports games, film like city council meetings, things like that. And so it became a job for me at about the age of 14.
Wow, that's really cool. So talk to us a little bit about some of your other work, and also you have films currently and awards. I mean, there's lots of recognition coming to you right now, but talk about some of your upcoming projects and some of your other projects.
Gotcha. So Life Ain't Like the Movies is our first feature film. Basically, a feature film is anything longer than 40 minutes. Before that, we were doing short films, 2 short films that were called Color of Life and The Lottery. We won awards all over the world. We won awards in Italy, Spain, France, Canada, New York, LA, Australia, the UK, Brussels. We won awards pretty much all over the world. And this latest film, Life Ain't Like the Movies, we've been selected for 16 film festivals. We won 7 different awards for like Best Feature Film, Best Supporting Actor, Best Original Score, which is the music for the film. And it's just, just a lot of recognition for, a lot of the hard work that we put in over the years. The next project we're working on is called The Pact, where we'll be shooting here and in LA. So we're starting pre-production on that by the end of the year. So that's the next project we're working on, which is another feature film.
Wow, that's great, man. So as you see, we actually are asking for students to put some questions in the chat. I mean, the opportunity to have conversation with a filmmaker, it's right now. So we're going to ask that you put your questions in the chat, and let's get some conversation going. Robert's here to answer some of those questions for you. And so, are there any questions right now? Okay. Okay.
I do want.
Cool. All right.
I do want to say that.
So
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead. No, Robert. Go ahead.
No, because I was watching some of the films before, I was, scheduled to speak watching the films. I'm very impressed by a lot of the films that I saw, especially there was one that he was doing stop motion with Legos. I'm not sure which student did that, but that takes a lot of skill and time to do because you have to do everything frame by frame, bit by bit. So whichever student did that, I want to applaud you because that takes a lot of hard work and a lot of patience. I don't know if I necessarily have the patience to do that type of work, but kudos to you for doing that. Also, I love seeing that people are filming things with iPhones and things like that, because my biggest thing when I'm talking to people about how to start in film is you start where you are with what you have. So seeing people use their iPhones to do film and things like that is a great thing, because back when I was doing film, when I was in high school, we didn't have all these tools. So it was a lot harder for us to make projects. So I'm very thrilled to see a lot of young students using what they have using what they have to film what they want. So I'm very, very excited to see that.
Wow, thank you, Robert. So you see there's a question there for you.
Yes.
It says, can you talk about how you got the financing for your films, and are you working in Michigan?
So how I got the financing for all my films is they all have been self-financed at this point. The last one, we had a budget of about $70,000. Before I did this film, I worked at Apple for about 6 years, and they had a stock program. So I invested in that stock program, and that stock program is what paid for my feature film and my other films, just because of making smart financial decisions. And that's how I self-finance now. But because of the reputation I've built through these short films and these feature films, now we have investors looking at possibly investing in our next films and things like that. So I don't have to self-finance anymore. But yes, I am working in Michigan.
That's pretty powerful. So thank you for that. And also, just to have people take note, you talked about the financial side. So the business side, they call it, right, show business, because there's a business side to it, right?
Yes.
So another question is, what is your favorite film you have made and why?
I would have to say the most recent film, Life Ain't Like the Movies, is my most favorite film so far that I made, because as a filmmaker and as a creator, I am very harsh on myself on the things that I make. And so for me to actually sit back and watch the film and actually love it for how much of me I put into the film is why I love it more, why I love it the most. It's just, everything came together beautifully from the cast. Like Paul Bates, he was in the movie Coming to America. Cinda Williams, she was in One False Move with Denzel Washington, Mo Better Blues with Denzel Washington. We just had a great cast, we had a great crew, and it just came together a lot. It came together beautiful, and I love the film. It's just it's very personal, so that's probably why I love it the most.
Yeah, wow, that's excellent. Thank you. So, I've got another question here. Let me see. It says, what inspiration should we aspire to use? What inspiration should we aspire to use in looking up to movie stars? And is looking up to movie stars a good thing? Like, how should we be inspired, and is looking up to movie stars a good thing?
Well, being inspired comes from, anything you do in life. I mean, like I said earlier, John Hughes is a director. He said, write what you know. John Hughes did movies like Home Alone, The Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, things like that. And he drew from his own personal experiences and made movies about that. So you can be inspired by literally anything around you, from your own personal life, from sports to, going to an art gallery, to, whatever you love to do, that can inspire you to write and to create. So looking up the different movie stars, I would say yes, with just don't put them on a pedestal, because sometimes people are people. They have mistakes, they fall, and they can disappoint you. So don't put them on a pedestal. You can look up to them, you can be inspired by them, but just remember that they are human and they make mistakes, and sometimes things happen. So I would say don't put them on too high of a pedestal.
Right. No, thank you for that. So another question, Robert, that came in, it says, on average, how much time do you invest into your films?
Whew, that is a good question. Life Ain't Like the Movies took about 3 years from scripting to post-production, because we started in late 2018, and we just premiered the film in June of this year. We just finished the film sometime early in May or early in April, so that one took about 3 years. The short films took a lot less time. The short films could take a few months, but feature films, there's so much you have to do, from pre-production to financing to scripting and everything like that. You want to make sure that everything is as perfect as it can be. Nothing will ever be perfect, but you try to make it as perfect as it can be. And the feature film took about 3 years.
So you better love what you do, right?
Yes. Yes.
Well, listen, Robert, I want to say thank you again, and so glad that Marcus Jackson at Fifth Third connected us, and we want to continue to build this friendship, this relationship, and just really appreciate you making time for us, and continued success to you in your work, and thank you for telling great stories.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me. I thank you for Marcus for introducing us too. This has been great. I love talking to students. I love inspiring the next generation of filmmakers any way that I can.
Excellent. Appreciate you, man. So again, thank you to Robert Butler. So check out this video from a friend of the Mosaic Film Experience.
Happy 10th anniversary, Mosaic Film Experience. Wow. A full decade of making a positive impact on the lives of young people in West Michigan. What an achievement, what a blessing. And to my brother Skot, Welch, and the entire team, you should be extremely proud of what you have created and the legacy that you're going to leave. So here's to a great first 10 years and God's blessing on the next 10 and the 10 after that. Wish I could be there with you, but I'm there in spirit. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Okay. So again, let's add some more context with Eddie Stevens. Eddie Stevens moved to West Michigan, now lives in California. He was just a force that just joined a Mosaic Film Experience, a skilled actor himself, very much plugged into the community, and he's also the father of some amazing kids. One of those is actually Ryan Stevens, who's done work with Ava DuVernay, if you've seen the series Queen Sugar. But Eddie has been a part of that, and Ryan has been a part of that. And so I tell you, this has really been something, as we think about 10 years, this has been something so powerful because you develop friends over time. And so, you know, what makes Mosaic so special is really those relationships that form, right? So Carla and Eddie and other people that you will see and meet along the way. And so it's just one of those things that we are really one of the blessings of being involved in this. And so people talk about 10 years, but I will tell you that you know, it seems like it's been moving pretty quickly. So we're so grateful for that. Again, so, all right, so we're gonna turn it over again to the engineer of our sonic landscape. His name is DJ AB. Go ahead, man, do your thing. Great. So I was telling DJ, I'm like, man, I like those chords. So I hope everybody was jamming. You know, we're doing it virtually right now. But one of the things I wanted to mention is that though we're doing virtual this year, we did it last year, we will always, going forward, have a virtual opportunity and an option, even though our plan is to have students come back into the building. So just so you know, for our friends that are, kind of picking us up from different locations, we're not going away. The virtual option is not going away just because people are going to come back into the building, okay? So now I want to take this opportunity to introduce some amazing young men. They were part of a program we put together for GRPS and Kent ISD last year. Julian and Justin Turner of Dreadhead Films. I love the name. So these talented guys were introduced to us by our friend Cass Taylor at Adobe. We've been following their success and wanted them to share what they've been up to, with all of you. So take a look at some of their work. Turner Brothers video right now.
Hello, we're the Turner Brothers. We're storytellers with a mission to entertain, inspire, and uplift.
We look forward to the day that black filmmakers will be trusted with the level of resources to tell stories on the scale of the filmmakers they grew up watching, many of which did not look like us.
But until then, we will continue to grind. Welcome.
Well, all right. No, so again, you saw that amazing reel. Two great young men. So Justin and Julian want to say thank you. You're familiar faces now.
Hey, how you doing? How you guys doing?
Doing well, doing well. So so tell us how you got into storytelling.
Yeah, really Justin story. Yeah, so about 7 or 8 years ago, our mom used to have like one of those old school Macintoshes, and it had like one of those webcams. And so my brother and I, we would play around with that camera a lot. We had iMovie installed on the computer, so we would use transitions to make it look like we were disappearing and teleporting and floating in the air and stuff like that, because we wanted to imitate and kind of give ourselves superhero traits, because we loved all the Marvel movies and different anime like Dragon Ball Z and whatnot. And so from there, that kind of elevated, and each year we would do more and more, and our parents started investing in us more and more, and eventually we were able to produce our create our first short film in 2013 or 14.
Yeah, but 2014, and then from there we would ask our parents for camera equipment and programs and softwares instead of toys for Christmas and our birthdays. And eventually we had enough to put together our own production house, and we've been moving forward with different clients and shorts ever since.
Wow, man, that's great. So talk about this TED Talk and Morehouse connection. What took place there that was significant?
Yeah, we recently just did a TED Talk at Morehouse College at the inaugural TEDx Morehouse College, where we spoke about our journey in our entrepreneurial journey with our production company, and just our filmmaking journey as creators, and how boldness plays a part in pushing you forward in your career, and how bold endeavors can really create opportunities for you that you never would have seen before. So that's that'll be coming out in the next few weeks publicly on YouTube, and we hope everybody can learn a little something from our journey as we continue to, continue to go down there.
No, that's great, man. Thank you for that. So then, of course, connected to students is Mosaic's, that's our focus, right? Talk about opportunities for other students, right? And where they may say, I mean, my goodness, Dreadhead Films, I mean, I just saw what they did. I could never do that. Speak to the kind of that, a little bit of that process and kind of encourage our students that, where should they begin? What are opportunities that exist?
Yeah, so most of our opportunities have always come from us, I guess, taking that, like we said, bold step forward and believing that, if we use what we have and do what we can, that things will come because of it. We started out with our own flip cameras and stuff, and once we realized that, we want to start doing something with a little bit of money, we had to use what we had, and I decided I ended up getting my brother a job as the sports videographer for our high school at the time, and they bought us one of our first cameras, like real cameras to use, and that was one of the cameras we used for our next short film. And we had a little bit of pocket change, and then we decided we were going to start Dreadhead Films, and so we made our own T-shirts, and so we sold T-shirts, and whatever we made from our T-shirts, whatever profit we made from our T-shirts, we put into our next short film. There were internships. I did an internship at Radio One as in marketing my freshman year of college, and then I ended up getting an internship at Adidas my junior year in college. And there was a Beats program that was specified for some minority students. There's programs all over the country that allow you and will give you grants and allow you to, kind of build upon what your last project was and give you the opportunity to tell another story. So we've always taken advantage of that and used whatever jobs we can get along the way to save up money and invest in ourselves.
Ultimately, we want to. Ultimately, the big thing is to just go out and do whatever you need to do. When we started, we weren't very good. We weren't the best filmmakers, and we were just going out and putting in the work. And we would go through YouTube. We didn't really have access to like professional filmmaking training. We would just utilize YouTube and all of its resources, and then we would go out and make the best thing that we could. And that gave us the best experience in order to improve our skills and make something better next time. And so that's literally the main way that we gained our filmmaking experience and credentials in order to get larger jobs and opportunities, like a TED Talk or a ad for a large company.
That's really helpful. No, and so again, step by step, right? It's incremental and it's over time. So would you speak to, and we have a question coming in from the audience, but I also, before that, I wanted to ask you, what are some of your upcoming projects?
Yeah, we recently we've been working with I'm Year Social Status, who have collaborations coming up in the next few years with Nike and Air Jordan. And so earlier this year, we shot a short film collaboration with Air Jordan. Just a few months ago, we shot a short film collaboration with Nike titled Free Lunch. So if you guys want to look it up, it's called the Free Lunch Dunk, but it's a free lunch short film on YouTube. And they have a few more drops coming up in the next year. So hopefully we'll be shooting a few more short films, collaborations with Air Jordan and Nike, and leading up to our first feature film.
That's great. Well, again, we are so proud of both of you guys, man. So the question is what has been your greatest lesson in your journey so far?
I think this all kind of ties into the TED Talk that we gave, and it's about being bold. I think for us being bold and using our voice, using what resources we had, not making excuses and going out and doing what it is that we say that we want to do for our career, that we say is our passion. At whatever expense that we have, putting in that work has made open doors that we never would have predicted. So being able to say, we didn't know what was on the other side of the door, what was on the other side of a project, what was on the other side of this work, um, and going out and doing it, and it being way better than anything we could have ever imagined. Or we met somebody that we never would have thought we would have met. Going to these festivals and not knowing who's going to be there, whether we wasted our time. It all ties into being bold, and things happen because of the actions that we've taken. So I think that's a huge lesson that we've learned along the way.
Yeah, kind of to add to that and what I said.
That's really,
earlier,
no, that's very cool.
To add to that, the main thing that you want to do is to go out and do what you want to do. Because when we set our goal to become filmmakers, all you have to do to become a filmmaker is make a film. Then you're a filmmaker. You may not start out as the best, but as you keep doing it with the resources that you have, you can only get better. You can only improve. So that's how you build those resources in order to get better and build the experience.
Frozen.
Uh-oh. We froze?
Frozen, yeah.
Are we good?
Okay. A little bit of technical difficulties. Yeah, it's okay. So I know they're coming back on here. It's just a couple of. All right. Cool. All right. Okay. So again, hey, this is great. We lost Julie and Justin, but again, talk about two young siblings determining to do something together, right? And making sure, and notice that they started step by step, right? So that as they tested things, they tried things, it started out real rough, and you see where it can actually go to. And again, one of the things we want you to understand, and I know the educators and administrators out there really understand, but the students in particular, is the whole idea behind the importance of storytelling. As you can see, storytelling, so far we've talked about it through Tom Kennedy at Wolverine Worldwide. We talked about it with Victor Holt at Fifth Third, and financial and manufacturing, we see that, but yet in all those things, actually, those are things that strategic storytelling, they find themselves very much enmeshed in those industries. So when you look at that device, that mobile device in your hand that you look at dozens of times a day, just know that there is an opportunity for you there, because the basics of storytelling is what? Okay, all right. Basics of storytelling, they are they're everywhere. So right now we want to actually introduce you. First of all, thank you to Julian and Justin from Dreadhead Films, by the way. So check out this video from last year's Mosaic Mobile Film Competition winner.
Hi everyone, my name is Xiang Yu, and I am the winner of the Mosaic Film Festival last year, as well as the Rick Wilson Memorial Award in 2019. I'm sitting here in my room at the University of Pennsylvania, and I want to wish the Mosaic Films Festival a happy 10th anniversary. The opportunities and events the Mosaic organization provides are phenomenal, and I encourage you all to take full advantage of it. Winning the festival last year has allowed me to delve deeper into film than ever before. I had the opportunity to be mentored by Cass Taylor, a creative producer at Adobe, as well as to attend the Interlochen Film Camp this past summer. I'm currently pursuing my dual interests in STEM and film by majoring in mechanical engineering and minoring in cinema studies. Film has been tremendous in helping me to self-reflect and giving me the courage to share my story. The truth is, all of you have a story to share, and there's no better way to do it than filmmaking. By sharing who you are, we all get to see new perspectives that we may never have considered before. So keep an open mind, enjoy the Mosaic event, and best of luck to all the finalists.
Nick. All right. So today, the power of storytelling can be found right in your pocket. As technology changes, we find new ways to connect, create, and celebrate the richness of life. So here are a few more of our Mosaic Mobile finalist superstars.
Have you ever wanted something so bad you'd do anything to have it? You sit there in class zoning out because it's all you can think about. You picture yourself in situations where you've reached your goal and it makes you feel like nothing can stop you. It makes you feel like anything is possible. You start to get that feeling that there is no test you can't pass, no hurdle you can't jump, and no pill you can't swallow. But then you start to compare. You start to compare yourself to others and the people around you. And you start to think, maybe I should just settle and do what's normal. But why? What makes it normal? What's stopping you from following your dreams? Show me what you can do. Show me how hard you work. Show me how great you can be. Stop dreaming and start doing.
And so next we're heading to Mexico City to speak with Rolando Gonzalez of Runente. Runente is one of the founders of Move, who talked at Mosaic last year. So Ronaldo is working at the cutting edge of storytelling, creating unique stories and content. Different types of storytelling, which you're going to really see here, using new media and to really create immersive and interactive projects for clients. So here's some of his work from Runente. So welcome, Rolando. So glad to have you here, my friend. Are you with us? There you are.
Yeah.
Hey, what's
Here I
going
am.
on?
Everything's good. Everything's good. Thanks.
Thank you for your work is amazing, man. First of all, how did you get into storytelling?
Let's see. It's kind of an interesting story because I first wanted to be a software engineer, and then I got really, like most 90s kids, I was into video games. So I wanted to create something like that, to program, to code, everything about video games. So I got into this university here in Mexico City. That it was a program of digital art and animation that had something about code. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do video games. Then, when after 4 years there, I realized I wanted to do VFX and do animation because of everything I learned over there, and also really liked land art and like different kinds of storytelling, not just like linear and small. Well, I'm not sure how to say it. Linear storytelling. I really got into multi-channel or interactive storytelling. So yeah, I mean, we got to do a lot of VFX over there. After I'm talking about Move already instead of talking about me. At that university, I get to know. Sorry, I'm getting lost a little in translation, but over there I got to meet my partners from Move, and we started doing a lot of animation because we were the founders. It was like a really flexible company, a really flexible studio where we got to do everything like animation, but because we did animation with computers, our clients thought that we could do also like augmented reality back in 2009. But we also did like concert visuals, but we also, one thing led to another, and because we didn't have like a specific structure and we were really flexible with our core team, where we could do everything we wanted. So because of all that expertise, I realized I wanted to do more storytelling, but on the interactive side. So yeah, that's how I got that way.
That's really amazing, Rolando. So, the thing I see about your work is that you really do work in a lot of different spaces. I mean, from AR, augmented reality, to concert visuals, and so talk about the importance of storytelling. You approach it. I mean, sometimes it's not about people, but it's elements that you add. So just talk about what would you tell students in terms of the importance of storytelling, and why do you go from different medium? Why do you go into the different mediums?
Well, for me and for my new company, Runente, what's most important is storytelling. It's not just the medium, because it's often for a new student, like kind of for myself when I got started into this stuff, you get excited about everything new, what you can do, what you can accomplish with the technologies, and you you leave aside all the narrative and creating a message with that. So I was one day in a department store in a mall. I was looking at the TVs and I saw these really beautiful graphics, and I was like, that's the kind of stuff that we do. But right now it's just like showing you how much color the screen is bringing and how much contrast. It's not saying anything. It's just a visual because being a visual. And yeah, some stuff like that got me into thinking, yeah, I mean, we could do so amazing stuff, create some amazing visuals, but if we're not saying anything, it's not worth it. It's not. Yeah, I mean, you end up being like that graphic in a television in the mall. That I mean, it's just there to be pretty and doesn't say anything and doesn't stand out and doesn't go on to become something else. So yeah, I mean, because of storytelling is our main goal, and because we're usually like trying to we love to try new things. We usually want to know how can we use these new technologies, but as a medium, not as the end. We don't want to use any medium just for the medium itself, but because of how can we accomplish or how can we tell a new kind of storytelling with that technology.
Yeah, wow. As you said, it's not using the medium for the sake of the medium, but you're trying to actually have that medium tell stories. So storytelling is everywhere. Would you tell some of the tell our audience some of the places that your work has been seen?
Some of the places. Well, I've directed some music festivals. Well, all the visuals for music festivals, for concerts here in Mexico City. My work, some of my work's been in museums in Dallas, in Denmark, in where's this place? I made, or I directed and produced an exhibition, or the interactive part of an exhibition that the Museum of Light in Mexico City got to place in the headquarters of UNESCO in Paris, France.
Wow.
And also, I mean, yeah, because of my main work right now is augmented reality. It's our work is everywhere. I'm an official partner for AR and VR for Facebook now, Meta, Facebook and Instagram. So we were really close with the Facebook Mexico and Facebook core team to create some experiences for our local brands, local influencers, or local famous people. So yeah, I mean, one of our earlier works was for an influencer here in Mexico. We created like the first Mexican themed Instagram filter in the world.
Wow.
And it was based on Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead celebration. And yeah, I mean, that got used like 1 billion times all over the world, I think so. So
wow.
It was really, yeah, it's once you realize those big numbers, like that's a lot. So yeah.
Well, listen, Rolando, this is just amazing. Thank you so much for being here with us and making time for us. We know that you're actually teaching a class. You're going to be going back to a class. And you know, our desire always has been to have you and members of your team to come to Grand Rapids. And so as things kind of become safe as we move towards a kind of a better tomorrow, we want to make sure I want to put that in your head, that we want to bring you and maybe a couple members of your team from Mexico City to Grand Rapids, and we love to do it next year. So thank you so much for being with us.
I love that. I mean, we love that to be over there and to anything you want. We also had prepared some stuff about our process and about what we can do. So if you have more time, I'd love to talk more about all that stuff. If you have any other questions,
we got to do that. We got to do that. So thank you so much, Rolando. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
So we want to actually now, so we talk about the 4 C's real quick for the Mosaic Film Experience. And we're really happy with the amazing stories students have told this year. And we'll be sharing the winners with you shortly, by the way, so you got to stay tuned. In addition to the cash prize, our friends at Interlochen Center for the Arts have graciously donated a scholarship to their 3-week summer film and new media camp in 2022. I mean, wow. Okay, it's just another realm. They do such great work there at Interlochen. So just another way our amazing sponsors join us to invest in our students, because you're worth it. So we want to play this Interlochen video for you, and then you'll learn more.
I'm Michael Middlestead, Division Director of Film and New Media at Interlochen Center for the Arts. I'm excited to join you virtually and want to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit more about who we are and why we're here. Interlochen is located in Northwest Michigan, about 2 hours from Grand Rapids, and we offer world-renowned programming in animation and filmmaking at our summer arts camp and our boarding arts high school. As a fellow Michigan arts organization, Interlochen is thrilled to partner with this year's Mosaic Film Experience supporting young filmmakers in our state. And this year, I'm excited to announce that Interlochen will be awarding 2 scholarships, a full-ride Interlochen Arts Camp Scholarship for the festival's grand prize winner and a 50% camp scholarship for the runner-up. Each winner will also receive a partial merit scholarship to attend our boarding arts high school, Interlochen Arts Academy. A member from Interlochen's Office of Admission and Financial Aid will contact the winners after the fest with more details, but in the meantime, please enjoy this short video about film and new media at Interlochen.
So the moment you've been waiting for, great students, we're going to see their work now. This is the Mosaic Mobile Competition 2022 Winners Block.
We are always being told we are running out of time, that we only have so much time, only have so many chapters in our life. We distract ourselves from thinking about how much time we really have, whether it's going out every night, buying too many shoes, working until 11:30 p.m. every weekday, or isolating yourself in your room until you can't feel anything. You can never escape the fear of running out of time. Constantly, I'm asking God how much time I have. Show me how much time I have so I know what I should and shouldn't do with all my time. Show me what I should do with all this time, or show me what I should do with this little time. I used to go insane thinking about how much time I had, and I used to think that every year at 12 o'clock a.m. on January 1st was a fresh start. A new chapter where I can get everything together, but every year I would put it off. January 1st would come again, and I'd start doing everything I said I would do, but only for a week. I never stuck with it. Waking up early began to be hard, working out was a drag, saving money was impossible. Then, something switched. I realized it was never about time. It was never about waiting a whole year to start new. It's been me. Me thinking that a new chapter means everything changes. But it doesn't have to be that way. A new chapter can be you waking up in the morning and getting out of bed. It can be you doing something kind for someone you don't even know. It can be finishing that book you forgot about 6 months ago. A new chapter doesn't have to be something big. It can be the smallest task in the world. So instead of worrying about how much time you have, until the clock hits 12 o'clock a.m. on January 1st, or the time until your death, start your chapter today. Don't worry about how small that chapter is. Don't think about how little progress you have made in the past. Focus on now. Because that is the time that we are guaranteed. The past is gone, and the future is unknown. So be in the now.
Hey!
What?
You order a clock?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Alright.
What does it mean? Who sent me this box?
Hey! Remember that package you got with the clock in it by chance?
Yeah, I do. Why?
Show me. Turns out it's the neighbor's package. I gotta go bring it to him now.
Wait, are we the same person?
No. You can tell we're not the same person because I'm wearing a hat.
Oh, alright. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyways,
here you go. Thank you. I'll go take it to him. You don't have to worry about the box anymore.
You're right. I don't need to worry about it anymore. I'm free.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. Have fun with this new chapter of your life. I'm gonna go return their package now.
My book is filled with rigid edges, with tear-stained pages that I can no longer read. My book stopped writing itself at one point. It was as quiet and as dark as the witching hour in the night. During my times of impatience, I longed for my next chapter to be written. My unfinished story left me with confusion. My mind was like a box with 4 claustrophobic sides, one being taped shut, overflowing with thoughts during my moments of solitude. I asked God to show me something bigger than just a box that confines me, a chapter where I see another version of myself. Show me more than a box that crammed my thoughts together. Show me more than a box that made my thoughts become so loud it was ear-shattering. Smooth out the rigid edges of my book so I don't get cut trying to turn to my next chapter. I prayed for this. I prayed for chapters full of complete bliss, for pages that aren't stained with tears, a chapter where I see another version of myself. I prayed for this box to break and let go of my thoughts that once resembled the sky at its darkest hours. When you turn through the darkest pages of my book, please know they will pass. These words will be clear to read once you get past the rigid edges of my story. My book is now filled with chapters of complete bliss, chapters where you can feel the peace radiate off my pages. These chapters were written for me. As my book goes on, I pray these next chapters will be more than just that boxed-in feeling. I pray they are filled with freedom and ambitions. As your next chapter is being written, please know those chapters full of despondency don't last forever.
All right, well, we celebrate our students. Real quickly, want to announce, as you saw there, but I just wanted to say your name. Third place, Charlie Guerrero, Career Tech Line Center. Second place, Sam Johnston, Kennewa Hills High School. And our first place winner, Bree Mathis from City Middle High School. And also, Bree also wins an additional, from the $1,000, she also wins an additional $500. This is the Rick Wilson Memorial Award. Rick was here at the very beginning of our journey, and just a great journalist, a great storyteller, and great lover of our youth, and so wanted to celebrate him by keeping his name out there as well. And we also just want to say thank you again to all of our sponsors. Warner Norcross and Judd, Zingerman's, 9B Collective, Gentex, Fifth Third Bank, Michigan Council for the Arts and Cultural Affairs, the Wege Foundation, the Kellogg Foundation, Interlochen Center for the Arts, and of course all those that you see on your screen as well that we, that also have mentioned. And then also this year's Powered By, and then our naming sponsor, our friends at Wolverine Worldwide. So we just want to say thank you once again. Now again, to take us into our sonic landscape, we got DJ AB. So take us there a little bit, DJ. It's over here. Oh, thanks.
Hey Scott, this is Cass. Hey, just want to wish you a happy anniversary with Mosaic Film Experience. Man, the impact that you made already on these young lives has been tremendous. The world is a better place because of your involvement with the youth, with anybody, heck, with me. Man, you've been an inspiration to myself. I'm sure you've been an inspiration to many others, and I'm blessed, completely blessed to be part of Mosaic, part of your life, part of your family. And I wish many other opportunities to engage and help these young people become even more creative and more impactful in this world. You take care, all right?
Well, again, we want to say thanks so much. That was, by the way, context is important. So that was Cass Taylor, who does the large events, both internal and external, for a little company called Adobe in Palo Alto. So again, we've got such great friends. As we go into our next guests, want to talk about, real quick, we really are serious about the career pipeline here at Mosaic Film Experience. And we really want to put an emphasis on really online workshops and training that we're going to be telling you more about in future days around helping, assisting our educators. We also are big, as you see, on internships for social media and content, and then partnerships with area organizations and companies. And the reason I say that is because our next organization, our guests, this is what they do, and they do it well. I'm talking about Branch Out Productions, and Branch Out Productions just finished principal photography on a feature film shot here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Block Party. And the founders of Branch Out Productions, Lisa Mathis and Lisa Oliver King, join us along with their EVP of Development, Kristen Sue. So Branch Out has long been committed to diversity in order to combat the barriers faced by minorities and women in their home state of Michigan, with an impressive track record, by the way, in their own communities. So the women resolved really to do something that is new and something that actually really helps to transform the lives of young people. So so here's a trailer for their first project, Mighty Oak.
Ladies and gentlemen, Army of Love.
Screwed up from the things I do.
We are the opening act for Arcade Fire.
The past will always haunt
Morning, Mr. Biggs. Thanks for the guitar. This thing's amazing.
Who's that? A new tenant upstairs.
You're writing a lot of songs? I actually wrote a song yesterday. You did? It's about it not being easy growing up.
I hear your friend's got some sick skills.
Sure does.
I'm Gina.
Oh.
Do you know anything about the man who owned that tailor?
Vaughn Jackson, lead singer of Army of Love. Your sister, right? That him?
Do you believe in reincarnation? What if we were all meant to be together? You, me, Vaughn, the band, just in a different way, in a different time. Is that so crazy? You guys ready to meet your new frontman?
Oh my God. It's Army of Love.
You were meant to be a part of this family.
Where did you find this kid?
I didn't. He found me.
I see you met Oak.
Aren't you looking fine as hell?
You brown sugar piece of candy.
All right. Well, hey, listen. First of all, what an amazing film trailer. But also, I wanted to talk with our friends here from Branch Out. There they are, Lisa and Lisa.
Hi.
Great seeing you both. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
So my first question is just tell us a little bit about Mighty Oak. Give us a little bit of the story behind Mighty Oak.
Well, Mighty Oak, we're really attracted to this story because it's a movie that kind of explores grief in a non-traditional way and offers hope for those who have lost their way in the wake of losing a loved one. And so it's a universal story, and those are the types of stories that Branch Out is most attracted to, is stories that tell a universal story that everybody can relate to. And also we're really attracted to the film because we knew we could create a diverse cast with this particular movie. For example, Janelle Parrish, the main character, female, she's Chinese American, and she really stepped up to the plate and brings a real sincerity to the movie. There's a lot of African American characters in this, and of course there's Raven Simone, who's just a legend in this world. And she really brought a whole nother breath of fresh air into the film.
That is excellent. So now, one of my notes says, is that all the songs written by an 11-year-old actor? Is that accurate?
Tommy Reagan, who is one of the stars of the show, he's the guitar player, the young guitar player. He actually wrote and performed all the songs on the soundtrack.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a real prodigy. He's a real guitar prodigy.
That's amazing. So Lisa Oliver King, so talk to us about, because I know you are landed here in Grand Rapids. Talk about the experience of doing production in Grand Rapids.
Oh my goodness, it was just amazing.
When Lisa M, because I'm Lisa OK and she's Lisa M, who wrote the movie, said, "Hey, let's do something in Michigan. We have an opportunity to create jobs, blah, blah, blah." It was just an amazing experience. I'm a learner. I mean, Lisa is the background in entertainment. And our partners, myself and Angela Mathis, who is an OBGYN here in this community. The Mathis family is well known for giving back to community. We wanted to join this effort so that we could learn the business as well as create opportunities for women of color, people of color, and why not do it in our own backyard? Detroit gets all of the hoopla, which it is deserving, but we are big hoopla up here in Grand Rapids also.
Absolutely.
So it was
Yes.
fantastic to do this.
That's great. So talk about some of the things that you were so very intentional. I remember when you were talking about bringing Block Party here. We'll talk a little bit about that. But talk about some of the intentionality of making sure that diversity was represented within the production and the process.
Well, the nice thing about being the producer of a movie and having your own production company is you can kind of call the shots on a lot of things. And so we made sure that we have diversity on all of our projects from the top all the way from beginning to end. So that includes, we have an African American female director. We brought on hair and makeup people who are African American. We have PAs who are African American, Asian American. We had some Native American production people as part of the crew as well. But also, we want to make sure that people of diverse backgrounds also have an opportunity to share in the profit sharing of the film. And so we were very pointed when we were asking for investors for our films. And so one of our goals is to always have at least 15% diverse investors in our film, which is a goal we've been able to meet. And so we're really very, very, very happy about it.
Wow, that's excellent. So tell us a little bit about Block Party.
Block Party.
It's
You want to
great.
start, Lisa?
It's great. Well, no, I'll piggyback on you. I'm just
Okay.
it was
Well,
such a
Block
blast. So go ahead, Lisa.
Yes. Block Party is a film story that I wrote along with my partners, Krista Sa, as well as Matt Allen. And it's basically based in our hometown. I was born and raised in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And so I really wanted to do a film about our city and specifically the Martin Luther King neighborhood, because that's a neighborhood, a park that I spent a lot of my childhood in. And I just really wanted to celebrate it. And also it was very important for us to actually film it in that neighborhood also. Obviously, we could have gone to Atlanta, we could have gone to California to film this, but I really wanted to film in that neighborhood because I think it was really important for us to have a presence there and let a neighborhood who is not traditionally being showcased in a film actually experience what it's like to actually have a film shot in their city, in their neighborhood, about them and about their stories. And so that's why we chose the Martin Luther King neighborhood. And it's a really fun family comedy about a Juneteenth block party celebration that's been happening for the last 40 years.
Lisa Oliver King. Lisa, okay, you got any comments?
I really enjoyed the fact that we were filming here in Grand Rapids because we had an opportunity to work with the King Neighborhood Association. We had an opportunity to support minority-owned businesses. We got a chance to work with the city manager, Dr. Mark Washington, about doing I mean, it just opened so many doors. What I really, really like that we did is we have a Blossom program that Lisa can speak to, but it's basically a mentorship program. So as you know, Scott, we reached out to you because we wanted to make sure that we created opportunities for folks to see the opportunities we were doing with our film. It was just, I now look at movies in a very different way. I'm a James Bond fan, so when I went to see James Bond at the IMAX, the only thing I wanted to get to was the end of the movie because it's like, wow, the undertaking that it takes to do a movie here. And Lisa, Krista, and Matt, along with Angela and myself, we wanted to really make sure that we highlighted Grand Rapids, and I think we did a good job.
Yeah,
I
that's
hope.
wonderful. We cannot wait to see it.
I
Oh,
would
I'm sure you
agree.
did.
Hmm.
So just as we wrap it, just maybe give us just a parting comment for the students that are listening in terms of how do they get started?
I think the best way to get started, and the one thing we always tell students, we always tell people who want to get into this business, is just start making movies. Everybody has an iPhone now. You don't need a bunch of huge equipment. You don't need millions and millions of dollars to shoot a film. Just start doing it. And the more you do it, the better you understand. The other thing we always suggest that students do is get a book called Save the Cat. Even though it's about screenwriting, it also really explains how a movie structure should be set up. And it's a really great book. And the other thing we suggest is that they go online, just go online. There's so many things on YouTube that teaches you how to film, that teaches you about film structure. Even though I encourage college and I encourage going to school, you can certainly start before college and really get a lot under your belt and a lot of understanding about filmmaking just through the internet. And also there's a website called No Film School that we highly recommend as well. We have no financial gain in any of these things. This is just what we tell people to do because there's a lot
Sure.
of really good information there. And of course, with your Mosaic experience, you guys are providing so many opportunities for young people. I couldn't be more happy with your organization. It's just a great thing.
Well,
And
thank you
then I'm
so
going to share
much.
my plug. Reach out to
Yeah, Lisa.
Branch Out Film Production. We're here to support in any kind of way. It was awesome to see Lisa Mathis with helping people with what your headshot should look like, what your reel should look like, if I'm saying that correctly. How do you didn't have to be poly perfect for us because we were here to make sure that you gave the best presentation possible in terms of trying to be in our movie. It wasn't even about being in our movie because we're always looking for the next step beyond
Absolutely.
Black Party. What is it that we can do to make sure that you have those key things in place that you can present yourself and promote yourself as a viable candidate. So
Right.
it was just
Because
amazing to watch.
we're always looking for new people also because, hey, I'm 50 years old. We can't be in this business forever, but we don't want it to stop with us. We want to be able to
Right.
pass this on to other generations and make this industry grow in Michigan more and more.
And it was also an
Wow, that's excellent.
advocacy opportunity for us because, as you know, we don't have those tax credits here. We did at one time. We wanted to show Michigan that we need to bring those tax credits back because we are a viable state where movies and music and dance and performance arts is being made. And here's an example of that, what we did with Black Party. So it's the first holiday movie for Juneteenth.
Yay!
And we hope
I
that
love
folks
it.
will come out and support and enjoy.
That's so wonderful. Again, thank you, Lisa Mathis Allen and Lisa Oliver King, two friends, Lisa and Lisa.
Yes.
But again, thank you for what you're doing. We really appreciate it, your commitment to the community, and just keep doing great work. And of course, Mosaic Film Experience, we're always here to be a part of what you're doing. So thank you again.
Great.
Thank you for all your support, Scott. We could have done it without your help.
Absolutely, we could not have. Thank you so much.
Glad to
Mosaic
work
is
together.
amazing.
Okay.
So make sure everybody, again, it's the first holiday film around Juneteenth, and so you want to make sure you check out Block Party when it comes out here. Want to move to our next group, our next team member and the family member of Mosaic Film Experience. And it started out with Philip Boutte Jr., concept art and illustrator for many of the big films. But Philip took it one step further with his colleagues Michael Wandy and Aldous Hodge, and they created an organization called 9B Collective, which is the first Black-owned concept art studio made up primarily of BIPOC artists and founded by Philip and Mike and Aldous. So the goal is to provide a shift in the entertainment landscape by working towards true inclusion both in front of and behind the camera. Today, we're so fortunate to have Philip Boutte, one of the 9B Collective's founders, join us. And here's their reel. you goddamn right.
I want to be counted. Do that shit, do that shit, do it. I say what I got.
Oh, is that a threat?
Some of us could be killed.
Welcome back.
Well, welcome back. And so you saw the reel, right? I mean, just some, little bitty films like that, Black Panther and Clemency, and my goodness. So first of all, we're so just fortunate to have great people surround Mosaic Film Experience and our young folks. We're talking now to just a dear friend, Philip Boutte Jr., who's talking to us all the way from California. Oh my God! I mean, it's like we're family.
Hello,
now.
everyone.
Like we were just so we were at your house in July. I think it was. And thank you again for the hot pot. We really appreciate it. It was really good. Tell Jessica and Bean we love them. Say hello.
I definitely will. We were glad to have you.
Listen, just talk to us, Philip, about 9B Collective. I'm so excited for you and Aldous and Mike. Talk about why you started 9B Collective.
9B Collective for us was a journey that kind of took place right before the pandemic, right before quarantine. So we did a drink and draw with our good friends and now colleagues, Nicole Hendricks Herman and Rachel Meinerding of the Concept Art Association. They had a drink and draw where artists get together and draw and kind of, commune and draw models. So we put together this thing. It was like Black History Month, Afrofuturism, Afropunk themed. We had a male and female model, came together, did the work. And what we noticed, which was really special, was there was particularly a lot of Black artists in LA that communed together across all different platforms. So we had live action artists, animation artists, video game artists, etc. And it really just seemed like there was a need for this community, a community to grow based on, kind of like Black artists in general, but then also BIPOC artists, right? So we just decided like, okay, let's try to build this community and see what we can do to further that. Well, then we were like, let's do some more drink and draws. And of course, everybody knows right after Black History Month in March, everything shut down. So we said, oh, okay, this might be a blessing in disguise for us because it made us stop and think. Then we had things like George Floyd and all these things like, just a lot of change, right? So that inspired us to say, let's open it up and go worldwide with it and try to see if we can find a place where BIPOC artists feel like they belong and that they have a place to grow. And also they have a place to further their career path with people that look like them.
That's amazing, Philip. I mean, and so you're up to about 70 different creatives right now of color?
Correct. We have about 70 artists.
Did you expect to grow that fast?
We did not, actually. We did not expect to grow that fast. And we also didn't expect the sheer positivity and the amount of work that was offered to us as soon as we kind of formed. And that's what made us realize that we were heading in the right direction.
That's amazing. So talk about, again, I mean, you know Mosaic Film Experience. Why is it important? I mean, your support has been just amazing. Why did it catch your attention, and why do you think it's important for students?
I think Mosaic is important for students because it provides you a place. As a student, you don't ever really know exactly where you want to go, and the pressure to feel like you have to, carve out your entire life is monumental, right? Like I got to figure out what I want to do. I think with Mosaic, there's such a wide range of people and collectives, creatives that come to Mosaic to speak to the students, and that also look like them, that provide an opportunity for them to see jobs in a way that, jobs that they never knew existed, right? So it opens up your mind, it expands your imagination, and it lets you know that these are things that you not only can do, but that you can thrive in and excel in. So as an artist, I support my family just pretty much doing art full time. That's kind of a blessing all in itself. And we wanted to make sure, or at least I know coming to Mosaic, I wanted to make sure that I was able to share that and pass that along.
That's pretty amazing. And so a little bit of history, everybody. So the first time I saw Philip Boutte Jr., my wife and I were sitting watching a film at Celebration Cinema South, and they did a campaign called I Make Movies, and they had a special of this. They showed the shot of this gentleman walking through this massive, almost airplane hangar size costume building. And at the end of it, it says, "My name is Philip Boutte Jr., and I make movies." And I told Barbara, I said, he doesn't know it yet, but he's going to come to Mosaic someday. And this is and we remember I sent the email, the next morning he responded, and the rest has been history. So again, thank you so much, Philip. So talk about, I know that also with 9B Collective, you're also looking at mentorship opportunities. Talk about how that works with 9B Collective. What opportunities exist?
Right now, what we're doing is we're building a foundation for artists to grow and learn. So if you go to our website, which is 9bcollective.com, and enter the contact part, or the contact us section, we are looking for artists that want to excel and to grow and to learn. We're also looking for industry professionals that want to work with us. And so it's really easy to just be able to kind of write an email to us, send us your portfolio, and let us know kind of like what your goals are. Because the mentorship part for us is being able to work with new people, being able to see like, where do you want to go? Like, well, I think I might want to do, children's books, or I might want to storyboard, or I might want to do concept art for big movies. Like, we need to kind of know what your goals are and your passions are so we can see them and help you, set you on a path to actually doing that.
That's excellent. So we got 1 minute left, Philip. I want to ask you a question. From the audience, what influenced you to enter your field of work?
I think I've been in the industry since I was young. So it's like that. I think that's kind of the key thing for me is I was an actor from the time I was 3 until around 17 or so. And so the industry has always been a draw for me. Entertainment, music, anything entertainment has been a big thing for me. So that's kind of what started me on the path. But again, I didn't know that I would ever end up specifically doing this part. I just knew I like to draw. I like film and entertainment. How can I combine those? And then I ended up on this path.
That's really cool. Well, Philip, again, thank you so much for always making time for us. Please tell 9B Collective we are excited to do more with them. And again, thank you for what you're doing. And we just really appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys as well. Shout out to Mosaic family. I love you guys, and I hope to see you guys soon.
Absolutely. We love you too.
In person. In person. Bye.
That's right, in person. Thank you, Philip. So again, thanks so much, 9B Collective and Philip Boutte Jr. Always just been such a great part of our lives at Mosaic. So I want to introduce Still I Rise. So Mimi Chakarova is the founder of Still I Rise, and which they celebrate people who persevere in spite of struggle. The Still I Rise Film Fellowship Program offers financial support and mentorship to women artists who have shown great promise in the field of visual storytelling and documentary filmmaking. So this series of short films directed and produced by women shatters stereotypes, honors those striving for dignity and justice. This year, one of our young hearts, our students, Mariah Barrera, two-time Mosaic Mobile Short Film Contest winner, is the youngest fellowship recipient. She submitted her film, My Brother's Keeper, which unfortunately we can't see right now because it was selected for the New York City Documentary Film Festival. But we do have a trailer to share with you. My Brother's Keeper.
I was outside for 2 to 3 hours that evening, head spinning, anxiously waiting for my older brother to get home from that after-school program. I mean, he was late before, but this time was different.
Well, again, just short, but eventually you'll get a chance to see it. But I want to speak right now. We got Mimi here. And and Mariah, you know, it's so funny, Mariah, of course you would be here, but I didn't know, it just sunk in. So between Mimi and Mariah, we just thank you so much for making time for us. Want to ask you some questions here. So Mimi, why did you start Still I Rise?
Well, first of all, thank you for having us, and I wish I can see everyone's faces who's watching right now, but I'll imagine you guys. I think so many of us ask this question about, we ask kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? But I think a more important question is, who do you aspire to be like? And when I was in my early 20s, I had two women in particular who changed the trajectory of my path. And those two women are still in my life. I always aspired to be like them. So now that I'm at the place where I am, I thought, what can we set up to support women filmmakers, women storytellers? How can we get more of us to be behind the camera, to direct, but also to tell our own stories, you know, to own the stories of what we've been through. And struggle is something that I'm familiar with. So I thought, why don't we do a series of films that are inspiring, that offer a roadmap of how to overcome adversity and talk about it, but also be of service to others.
That's beautiful. No, thank you, Mimi. So how did you begin your storytelling career?
We have to take it back to coming to the United States of America. I was 13. I came with my mom. No one back home, I'm from Bulgaria, no one back home believed that we were living in the poverty in which we were living in Baltimore. So I got 3 jobs when I was 13. I was cleaning houses and unloading trucks on the weekends and really, really struggling. But I felt like there was one thing I needed to save money for. And that one thing, and the first thing, was buying a camera. So I bought a camera so I can document what I was seeing in front of my eyes and show it to people back home, because people back home perceived America as, naturally the wealthiest country in the world. So they didn't believe that it was possible to have this type of struggle here. So that was it. That was the beginning of, becoming a visual storyteller.
Wow. Well, first of all, we're glad you're here and appreciate your heart to help others. Well, tell us what was unique about Mariah's film.
I mean, you watch something. I remember we received her application and we're watching this short clip on YouTube, and I'm thinking, this person is 18 years old. I mean, this is amazing. It's not hard to recognize someone who is gifted. But what really was special about Mariah, and Mariah, I have to say, if your family is watching, much respect for your unity and love and the support that you give to your daughter. It's the way she was telling the story. It's poetry in motion. It's personal. But that's the best way to reverse stereotypes and preconceived notions, is to show something that other people haven't seen before. And I felt that that's exactly what she was doing with her work. And I thought, what better way to have her expand on this project than to offer this fellowship and mentorship. And just like I said earlier about these 2 women who are still in my life, I hope that 20 years from now, I'm still in yours, and I can just see you grow and become everything that you're going to be. I know you're going to be. You are amazing, and you will continue to be. You shine.
Yes, and we agree. So Mariah, talk to us. What has this experience meant to you?
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you, Mimi, and thank you, Skot, for having me. Like, this is just such an amazing experience. Everything feels so full circle because Mosaic Film Experience has been so instrumental in me starting and pursuing my film journey. I think there's 2 main things with this fellowship that's just really been so impactful to me. And one of those is the resources. Like pursuing film in high school and being young, you always have this idea that like I don't have enough to do or to tell the stories that I want to. And Mosaic was that for me. You guys gave me so many resources when we would work on projects that allowed me to tell the stories I wanted to tell. And with this fellowship, like the grant money, I was able to get equipment. I learned how to make do with little, and that carried me over for a long time. But getting the money, it was such an amazing experience to like buy a really nice tripod and buy these things that were only going to make my filmmaking so much easier. And so I've just been so grateful for that. To be able to make my process easier and focus more on the storytelling has been amazing. And also what Mimi touched on, the mentorship. It's been such an amazing experience to have someone that when I have doubts or when I want to bounce ideas off of someone or literally just work through my process, having Mimi here has just been, I've never had an experience like that. I usually bounce ideas off my friends and family, and I love that. But having a designated person where she's as invested in my story as like I am and my family is, it's not something that I take lightly, and I feel so grateful that I have that. And that's been the best part about it, is just knowing that I have someone who is committed to my story and that I can go to for anything, any part of the process. It's so exciting.
That's amazing, Mariah. Thank you. So how do you want your finished project to affect people?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing is this big issue of incarceration. There are so many big issues that a lot of us care about and want to talk about. And through this project, I've begun to notice that the best way to do that is by bringing it down to a micro level, bringing these issues back down to earth and understanding how is it affecting me or my family or my friends. And so that's what I've been able to learn through this process. And I hope that this film can make people think about how this big issue is affecting their daily life. How is it affecting the way that they talk about incarcerated communities or issues related to incarceration? How is it that they treat people who have gone through these experiences? I hope that by narrowing down and bringing this big issue down to earth in the context of my family's life, I can inspire people to do the same when they're watching it, because I think that the only way big change can be inflicted is by us changing how we go about our daily lives, changing our perceptions. And I hope for the film to do just that. I just hope that by bringing people into this very close, intimate part of my life, that it can affect how they go about theirs. So yeah, that's how I hope.
That's amazing, Mariah.
Thank you so much.
So what's next? We're excited for you.
Yeah, so right now I am in post-production for the longer version of My Brother's Keeper with the support of Sly Rise Fellowship. I'm getting ready to send Mimi my rough cut right now. And so that's what I'm working on currently. And then after that, it's just figuring out what I want to do with the film. And thankfully, Sly Rise is going to help me kind of figure out what do I do with my film now that I'm done with it? How do I share it with the world? And after that, I really just want to keep working on expanding my skill in documentary filmmaking, specifically, incorporating elements of narrative and poetry, and just trying to find this non-traditional way to go about documentary films and still focusing on themes of family and my family and how big issues have impacted us. I just hope to just keep making films and keep telling these stories that are so important to me.
That is great. So how are you enjoying Columbia University? It's New York City, right?
Yes.
How are you enjoying that?
Yeah, I really love it. Just finally getting back into the swing of things, having in-person classes again. But it's just so inspiring being here in the city and around so many different creative people from all different walks of life. I feel just so inspired every day that I'm here, so grateful. And it only encourages me to see other artists living their dreams and, pursuing what it is that they want to do. It only inspires me and motivates me to just keep doing it every day, even though school can be a bit hectic. It's just so inspirational to be here.
No, that's great. So, Mimi, give us one thought as we close, and also from you, Mariah. But what is one thing that you'd like to communicate to young people as it relates to their storytelling journey? And why is it even important to be able to tell stories well?
I would say the one thing, there's so many things, but the one really important thing is not to be afraid to take risks, not to, try not to imitate other people. If you have a vision of your own, don't be scared to try it, because often this is what we look for. when we are going through a selection process and we're looking at different samples of work, we want to see something that we haven't seen before. And that's pushing the envelopes of storytelling, pushing the boundaries. So I would say, trust your gut. You know, if you don't have experience, get connected to people who do, who can help you. But, you know, similar to Mariah, I mean, when I read in your application that you've been making films since you were 5 years old, my reaction was, get out of here. You know, that just can't be. But then, you know, you see the work sample and it speaks to that. I can see that you know how to edit. I can see that you know how to structure a story. It has a beautiful narrative flow. I can see that you understand the rhythm of music, but also of spoken word. All of that comes together. So I would say, you know, in your case, Mariah, you know, trusting your gut. It was the right thing to do. So that would be my advice to young people. And the other thing is you have to have the endurance. You have to, talent is not enough. You have to have the endurance when you hit those walls, when you have those challenges, not to give up. That's the hardest part, is not giving up.
Yeah, thanks, Mimi. So, Mariah, speaking to your peers, what would you say? Why is storytelling important, and why is it important to do it well?
Yeah, I think looking around at the world, and I know this is something, especially for young people, because this is the world we're going to grow up in, it can be so sometimes discouraging to just see how many things are going on, how many issues there are, and a lot of the times when you're young, you feel like you can't do anything about it. And I think storytelling is the number one solution to, you know, a lot of our problems, that people don't recognize the power of storytelling. And I think for young people in a world where you feel like you don't have a lot of power, like you need to harness into the power that storytelling has. And so I think that that's my biggest thing. And as it relates to just going for it, like what Mimi said, this process, the fellowship it's been a very difficult process to make this film into a longer one. I've ran into a lot of walls and just discouragement, but each time I have to remind myself what my goal is, and what my goal has always been is just to tell stories and try to incite change in whatever way I can. And, you know, I have to keep reminding myself. So I guess that's the advice that I would give, is that especially if you want to pursue a creative career and you have a lot of people telling you that it's not feasible, just remind yourself how much you care about it, but also the fact that, like, there are always going to be people telling stories, making films, whatever it is. There's always going to be someone making the YouTube videos you watch, always someone making the commercials you watch, always someone making the movies and TV shows that you watch, and there's no reason why that can't be you. And that's something I really had to remind myself. Even now, I still have to remind myself that, like, if I'm not going to be making it, someone else still is, so why can't it be me? So I think that that's something just to really remind yourself, especially if you want to go into a creative career or pursue anything creative.
No, thank you, Mariah. Really appreciate that. And again, thanks to Mimi. Keep doing great things. So glad you translated your story to help others. And we hope to do something together, more specifically with Mosaic and Still I Rise. And Mariah, you know how much we love you and so proud of you. And just keep doing great things.
Thank you so much.
And so we just want to say thanks to both of you, and keep changing the world.
Thank you.
All right, bye. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. So we want to also, as we bring it to a close, hopefully you've been really inspired and you've enjoyed meeting people and seeing opportunities, but also want to just give another shout out to our sponsors, because this doesn't happen without you. And I also want to publicly thank again the team. You don't see all these people I'm just in front of the camera. There's people all around me making this stuff happen. And so this does not happen in solo, right? I always say teamwork makes the dream work, okay? So thanks again to the friends and help here. With our sponsors, want to thank again Warner Norcross and Judd, Sid and Sharon Jansma, Zingerman's, 9B Collective, Gentex, Fifth Third Bank, Michigan Council for the Arts and Cultural Affairs, the Wege Foundation, the Kellogg Foundation, Interlochen Center for the Arts, and many others on the screen that you see there. And of course, this year's Powered By sponsor, Wolverine Worldwide. We really, really appreciate you and appreciate all of you being here with us today. And with our outro, I just want to say thank you for joining us. By the way, the stream will be available after the event to share. Please share it. And then follow us on social media by staying connected. And AB is going to end this event right. So thanks for being here. AB, do your thing.